Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Groma Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. I am Trenton Magid. My tenacious co-host, Jeff Beals, who usually sits in this seat, has the weekend off for some family stuff. And I actually flew in from Switzerland, Zurich and Milan, over the last couple weeks. And not just bragging, but I'm here to do my duties for the Groma Show after 20 years in front of the microphone. Although Jeff will join us next week, I am excited to announce that I have a few guys joining me in the studio today. Two of them have been on the show before, and one is a new voice to Grow Omaha. It is my pleasure to welcome back Willy Thiesen, a well-known business leader and entrepreneur who founded Godfather's Pizza in 1973, and after about 1,000 restaurants and several other successful ventures, he is joining us in the studio. Welcome, Willy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And Willy also brought breakfast. That doesn't happen very often. Did you know that the guests that bring breakfast usually get invited back more than the ones that don't? During the show, we're going to talk to Willy about many business-related items in Omaha, and especially his involvement in a new restaurant coming to Ashland called Ruhlman Steakhouse. Joining us to talk about the new restaurant is Ruhlman's executive chef and partner, John Benton. Welcome to the show, John.
Thanks for having me.
And this is what we're going to get into in the next segment is a steakhouse that is coming to Ashland. It's going to open in July, so everybody has to listen about that. We're going to get into that, and I want to get your guys' take on the restaurant scene. Also, later in the show, we're going to have a lively discussion with Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hanson about a proactive program in his office they are implementing to combat construction site theft, as well as what else initiatives are happening at the sheriff's office. Welcome back, Aaron.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Appreciate you being here. And I want to thank Cheer Athletics. If you have a kid or grandkids who want to develop tumbling and stunning skills, you should check out Cheer Athletics Omaha. Go to caomaha.com to register your athlete and join the All-Star Cheer Revolution. Located at 146th and Gold Coast Road in Papillion, Cheer Athletics Omaha competes at the highest level of All-Star Cheer, which differs from traditional school cheer teams in that its primary purpose is competition. They travel nationally, while schools cheer involves crowd leading and other social roles, as well as an option for competition. So Cheer Athletics is something to check out. It is time for the Development News of the Week, sponsored by Eagle Mortgage Company. Eagle Mortgage Company has been in business for over 30 years, licensed mortgage broker serving Nebraska and Iowa, free consultations. You need to get a pre-approval letter. Call Holly Schneider and our friends down there at 114th and Davenport, just south of 114th and Dodge, or go online at eaglemortgagecompanY.com. You need that pre-approval letter. Houses are still moving, ladies and gentlemen. People, it is the time to take evaluation of your current house and go and look at new houses. Well, if you get our weekly market report, the Groma Market Report that Jeff Beals leads on Thursday afternoons, you'll see a lot of activity in there. And also, in addition to that, thanks to Chris and Jen Corey with Arbor Creative Group and Jeff Beals and our team, we have relaunched the Grow Omaha website, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want daily updates, daily briefs, we have hired some new writers, experts in their field for entertainment, restaurants, transportation, all kinds of economic development, planning board, things that are happening in your fair city. Every day, go to growomaha.com. The feature story this week is that there's more than a dozen development projects planned for 2024, and the mayor came out during a press conference last week and talked about the streetcar update. Mayor Gene Stothert shared a lot of information, and basically 11 significant but yet to be announced real estate projects totaling over $400 million are now in the active planning stage stages in the urban core. We expect many or possibly all of these projects to be announced by the end of the year. There's just a few months away. These mystery projects, known to the city officials and respective developers, but not to the general public, are part of $1.3 billion in real estate development identified so far that will help pay the future streetcar system that will connect downtown Omaha to the University of Nebraska Medical Center. The streetcar is expected to open in 2028. If a development is within few blocks of the future streetcar line, it receives tax increment financing from the city. It can. Part of that money will be used to pay for the streetcar. Therefore, in order for the mystery projects to be included, they need TIF eligible and located close enough to the line somewhere between the Missouri River and Midtown. To give you an idea, guys, of some of the projects that are happening, and to give you a perspective, in 1989, when ConAgra told the city that they would leave if we didn't tear down about 24 buildings in Jobbers Canyon. Remember that, Willie?
Yeah, I do.
And now we know it was a mistake. They last about 30 years, but basically, that entire redevelopment project was $60 million, okay? So here's a generic listing of the projects that the mayor announced, and we'll hear more about them over the next few months. One of them, $60 million, $60 million, $50 million, $5 million, $5 million, $7 million, $50 million, $40 million, $30 million, $18 million, and $75 million. And just to give you an idea that, things along the streetcar line and things that have been approved since 2022, here is that, things almost don't even break news unless it's over $50 million. You were putting together restaurants for about $200,000 or $300,000 for Godfathers, right?
Less.
Yeah, back then, right?
Yeah.
And 48th and Dodge apartments, $82 million. Flats on Howard, $28 million. 1501 Mike Fahey, which is a Noddle project, $57 million. Keyline Building, $7 million. Dizzy Mule, $43 million. Mutual Omaha Skyscraper, a small $443 million. Approved in 2023. Leavenworth Lofts, $8 million. Diggs Mason Apartments, $46 million. Diggs Apartments, $9 million. We're still in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Square Apartments, $18 million. And just approved in 2024, the Service Life Building renovation, $3 million. Apartments at 1001 North 12th Street, $19 million. 1508 Marcy Street, $16 million. The Duo, Todd Heestand and Mary Heestand, the old Central Park Plaza, $164 million with about 700 apartments right at 15th and Farnham across from Untamed Kitchen and Pickleman's. Millwork Commons project, $19 million. So, guys, that's incredible. We're a city of less than 1 million people. We're led by a very aggressive mayor who's on her third term and running again.
Correct.
And, Willie, what is your take on the what's going on? As a guy, you've been for decades, you're on the Omaha Planning or the Airport Authority Board. You've been on Mecca and a lot of other things. What's your take on what drives Omaha in a couple minutes, which is hard to do?
Quickly, when you go through those things and I look over there, just one of those, the Duo project by
Todd Heestand.
Todd Heestand. He did the St. Joe's Hospital and he turned that Atlas, calls it Atlas, turns it into these apartments.
And put a bridge over.
I was amazed. Yeah, put a bridge
75.
Yeah, over to Creighton, back and forth. It's a big, huge dormitory, and so I just think these products.
A lot of risk.
There's a lot of risk, but we don't want to end up looking like a donut. Okay, so you got to fill the core. You just have to fill the core.
And so goes downtown, goes the rest of the city. You got to build the big buildings in downtown. You got to keep the core lively. A lot of cities have experienced otherwise.
And don't forget a little thing called Epley Airfield.
Oh my God, $1 billion.
$1 billion. And that's, again, a 28 project. So a lot of things are going to happen in 27, 28 that's on your list and before.
Yeah, and very excited about what's going on in the urban core, but also everywhere else. Also downtown, CHI Health plans to redevelop a 20,000 square foot building at 1127 North 20th Street. The nearly $13.6 million projects will rehabilitate the building to serve two primary purposes. It will have space for a community kitchen that will serve current CHI healthcare facilities and house a dietary call center. I'm not sure what that is. CHI is applying for $385,000 of tax increment financing. So I was on the planning board for 5 years, Willie, and we gave a lot of tax increment financing. My concern is that market rate development projects are hard to do. So developers are going after tax increment financing. They're going after historic tax credits downtown where it's available, and what's called PACE funds, which is making more energy efficient and things like that. I think it's with the federal government and stuff. I just hope that projects out west can get more affordable for developers that aren't applied underwriters or other type users.
Well, there are two sectors, and there's two beliefs on where they would best operate. Out west, some of those new buildings, commercial buildings, they're having a little bit of a challenge right now. Office space, right after COVID, during COVID, people clammed up, which they did, and I wonder what are they doing now, because a lot of them haven't come back.
That's probably for a different show, but
yeah.
Retail is at an all-time high occupancy, which is crazy.
Yeah, retail's there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a short break. You're listening to Trenton Magid, Willy Thiesen, and on the Grow Omaha Show, 1110 KFAB. We'll be right back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. I am Trenton Magid. Jeff Beals will join us next week. He has the weekend off, and we've had a lively discussion so far. And I want to thank Dingman's Collision Center. Family-owned since 1996. They're on their third generation. And 4 locations, Northwest, Midtown, Omaha Southwest, Papillion. Dingman's Collision Center has been chosen the best of auto body repair every year since 2005. Auto body paint repair, and they also do mechanical on 120th and West Maple Road. From experience, unfortunately and fortunately, I am good friends with them, and I do a lot of real estate with them. However, they know my cars well, and they do a great job. So you should use Dingman's Collision Center as well. Well, as we said at the top of the hour, the incredibly well-known Willy Thiesen, founder of Godfather's Pizza and several other successful ventures, is joining us today on the show. He is a consultant and working hard with executive chef and partner John Benton, who I introduced earlier, for the newest steakhouse in the metro area in Ashland, Nebraska. It's called Ruhlman Steakhouse. And Willie, give us kind of an overview of what's happening.
Well, over the years, I've been affiliated with Gallup in one way or another. Their entrepreneurial training, their testing, classes that I've been attended and taught. And I just have a great feeling when I'm down there. And I've met many, many people. One was, Todd Johnson was my main person I saw a lot. And then Phil Ruhlman was always there. We chatted quite a bit. Very interesting guy, very smart guy. And about a little over 2 years, about 2.5 years ago, he called me, and because Todd told him, "You're doing a restaurant, he hasn't opened a restaurant ever. He's worked at them, but he hasn't opened one of his own with a partner." And so Todd told me, he said, "Why don't you call Willy and see if he'll do it?" I don't know if he'll do it or not, but you can ask him. He called me. He didn't have to really say much because I knew who he was. I kind of heard about what the project was. And I said, "Let me think about it." And I thought about it, and I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." So about 3 seconds after he asked me, and we've done everything. We've done design, the engineering part. We've got all the permits.
Is it a ground up?
Oh, yeah, it's a ground up. It's a ground up, and it's a complex. It's a 6+ acre tract of ground right on Highway 6, and it was very difficult to put together because there were 3 or 4 different owners, and one didn't want this, and one didn't want that. We had to make everybody happy. And we did by many things, and got control of the property. We cleaned it up a little.
So this is a 2-year process?
Oh, God. 2.5 maybe. And, so it's been a while.
Okay, so Gretna, Ruhlman Steakhouse is going to open Did you say July 17th or July?
It's going to be July 31st. Is
Okay.
public
So
grand
John Benton, the executive chef, grab that microphone, and give us an idea of the concepts. You know, Omaha is with Metro, the Culinary Institute, is no strangers from Godfather's Pizza to the best, which is the best, but also all the other restaurants that have happened in Omaha. It's a crowded market, and we're seeing more steakhouses come in kind of along Dodge Street and things like that. Give us the overview of Ruhlman's concept.
Well, I was excited to join this project for a number of reasons. One of them was Phil Ruhlman, my partner's connection with the Keneally family out in Whitman, Nebraska. And the Keneallys own a almost 60,000-acre Angus ranch, and not many people go into the mindset of opening a steakhouse trying to purchase a whole head of beef and utilize that whole animal. So we're focused on utilizing a whole animal, exclusively Keneally Angus beef. Aside from the restaurant side, we have a 1,000-square-foot meat market, kind of gourmet items that are in the building as well as a 150-seat event space.
All in one building.
Equidistant between Lincoln and Omaha is kind of the perfect spot for an event space. The menu kind of leans Northern Italian. However, there's some Chinese options on there. There's a little bit of Spanish food on there. But really, it was a cool opportunity for me to be involved from a ground-up operation. I've done a couple of those in my career, but this was really, we're going the full Monty, and we're going to get the right tools to do the job, and we're going to find the right people. And aside from featuring this amazing Keneally Angus beef, we've got some awesome talent. Menu includes handmade pastas. We've got a 20-layer short rib lasagna on the menu.
20-layer.
It's going to be in a wood-fired oven. I mentioned the Chinese stuff. We got a Chinese-style shrimp toast. It's going to have whipped salmon belly in it. That's really, really nice. We even brought over a dry aging and charcuterie cabinet from Italy. So in the dining room, we'll have not only our dry aging beef and pork, but we're also going to be making homemade salamis and things like that.
Yeah, I just got back from Milan, so I'm looking forward to that. But you mentioned that you're doing the full Monty. I hope it's a closed kitchen.
No, funny you say that. It's an open kitchen, open to the dining room. So
figure of speech, ladies and gentlemen.
Come for dinner, stay for the show. You know what I mean?
So you're doing great. You're gonna have live entertainment throughout the. I don't know if that would go well with during the dinner. You might want to wait.
We'll wait.
Maybe it should be after the show.
Yep.
After the dinner. So you're working. How's it going as far as putting all the pieces together? Are you gonna be ready for the opening next month?
We're going to be ready definitely for the opening on July 31st. I actually got hired a little more than a year ago before the restaurant had even come out of the ground. And I think what Phil said to me was, "How do you feel about operating a food truck?" And I said, "That sounds great. I love making burgers." So we've been operating Ruhlman's food truck. This year, we're out at Country Drive Golf Course providing food service for the golf course. But I'll tell you what, you learn a lot about your team and how everybody works together in a 110-degree truck with not a lot of space. So,
And is the website up and going?
yeah, website's up and going. It's RuhlmanSteakhouse.com. We're getting along in the process. We're still looking for great people as far as servers, bartenders, front of house staff, things like that. So we have an application process. You can fill out a form on there for that. But you can also check out our menu. When we shared our first copy of the menu to Facebook, I think it had 26,000 views in 24 hours. So that's pretty cool. So we're excited to get open and be serving.
We can't wait to chart your progress and talk about it on here. And Chris Corey may just do a review of your restaurant on the Grow Omaha website.
That'd be
and
great.
Willie, anything else you want to add about your latest venture?
Well, this putting these people together, what a team! What an opportunity for me to work with Phil, longtime person looked up to by a lot of people at Gallup, and John, Chef John. I like working with these people. They're talented. They have great ideas. We agree. We don't argue. We debate and come up with an answer, and we don't push anything to the wayside. So I just like the professionalism of them, and of course our purveyors too. We've got just one of them, Cisco. They've been such a great partner, not real partner, but like a partner. We buy the things they sell. They've done all of our equipment, and they've helped us with the menu. They have a test kitchen in Lincoln that I was there when we had pitch. Went down there several times, developed new menu items. That's where the meatball recipe came out of for pitch. We've been down at this one 3 or 4 times for 3 or 4 hours, and just trying like this, like that, a little more on this, a little more of that, and that's how they do it. We're all doing this together. It's part of success for everybody.
Well, we'll stick around if you can, but Willy, Thiesen, John Benton from Ruhlman Steakhouse, I hope the best for you guys. I appreciate you coming on, and thanks for bringing the treats. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to have the Real Estate Development Spotlight brought to you by Noddle Companies, and we're going to be joined by Sheriff Aaron Hanson, who's going to talk about what's happening in our city and how he keeps everyone safe. And we're excited about that. You're listening to Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha, 1110 KFAB. Stay around for a few minutes, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics Omaha. I am Trenton Magid. Jeff Beals took the weekend off. He'll be here with us next week. And it is time for our Real Estate Development Spotlight, brought to you by Noddle Companies. Noddle Companies, as the premier developer in the Midwest and far beyond. If you think of the Builders District, Valmont headquarters and Heartwood Preserve, River's Edge and Council Bluffs, First National Business Park, just to name a few, it was the Noddle team that did it. I've got it on good authority that Noddle Companies is going to continue expanding the residential offerings at Exarban Village in the near future. We're waiting to hear more details. It's all not out there yet, but I've been teased with it could be very large townhome projects in the form of condos for sale. So you can imagine that's the truest version of a mixed-use center with entertainment and residential and business and live here, work here, play here, right in the center of our town on 67th Street and Center, all the way to Pacific Street with the college and everything else. This is the time of year where the events at Exarban Village really pick up. Sam Noddle shared with me last night that the Exarban Run Club, something that I will never join, starts at 6:30 p.m. every Wednesday night at Sonny's Airstream Trailer by HDR. It's free. Everyone's invited to join in the run. And then afterwards, there are drink discounts using a QR code. You can also get food from Rub and the Interrail Food Hall. Tonight there will be music from DJ Eric Ejike, that's how I pronounce it anyway, from 8 p.m. Until late, right at Sonny's. Also, Exarban Village features DJs every Friday starting at 8 p.m. And that's your Real Estate Development Spotlight brought to you by Noddle Companies. Noddle Companies is an Omaha-based full-service real estate company and can be reached at noddlecompanies.com. Well, I'm happy to bring back my friend who is doing a great job as Douglas County Sheriff, Aaron Hanson, who just got back himself from the National Sheriff's Association Conference. Welcome back. And
thanks.
And you contacted me, and you want to talk about combating theft in construction sites to start out, and then I want to dig deeper in what's going on in your department.
Yeah, so, very interesting coming back from the National Sheriff Association Conference. One thing that most of us have in common, although all of us have countywide law enforcement jurisdiction in our counties, almost to a one. If you're in a county in a large metropolitan area that has a burgeoning development economy out in the unincorporated parts of the county, so that future growth area of whatever core city or cities that you're dealing with, those sheriffs, just like me, my agency and their agencies were responsible for securing the safety of that growth area. And just to kind of paint the picture, in the Omaha metro area, you've got that 3-mile extra territorial jurisdictional zone that goes around the outside city limits of Omaha, that Omaha can control the development, the permits, the planning in that area. that safety is 100% on the shoulders of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office.
Interesting.
And when you see, just as they announced a couple of weeks ago, that Douglas County, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, it's a federal office, fastest growing economy in the nation, that really puts a lot of pressure on my agency. We have to be ready. We have to do it right.
So Douglas County, Nebraska is the fastest growing economy in the nation.
That's right. Now that's this year. We beat out other hot economies like Nashville, and, Austin. But the Bureau of Economic Analysis indicated that Douglas County is the fastest growing economy in the nation.
So is theft on construction sites on the rise, and if it is, how do you combat that?
You know, it ebbs and flows. We've done a pretty good job. When I came into office, we created a specialized team in our Criminal Investigations Bureau that focuses on property crime. It's funny. It's not really sexy in modern days. You have a lot of policymakers that say, well, only people that commit violent crimes should go to prison. Well, I can tell you, these offenders, especially these repeat offenders committing these property crimes, they're shutting down businesses. They're costing people their jobs. They're plundering these job sites. They'll show up and they'll hook up to a trailer full of tools or equipment or building supplies, and they'll hit them for $100,000 or $125,000 at a pop. They'll drive away with $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 piece of earth moving equipment or heavy equipment. And I will tell you, most of these businesses are small businesses. You know, they're family owned,
and they can't afford it.
They cannot afford it, and sometimes, you know, the deductible on their insurances can be pretty brutal. So you lose something like that, it disrupts not only your business but your all the people around you.
So it sounds like these are organized. Either they're small time operators, or is it more organized? These aren't just the meth heads that are stealing copper and trying to get a fix.
I'd say it's a mix of both, actually. You know, you've got some of these guys that are very organized. And you've got a lot of them, I'd say probably the majority of them are drug addicts. You know, repeat offender, meth addicts, fentanyl addicts. Those are the ones that will go up and hook up to a trailer and just pull it away, or cut the door off of a construction trailer to steal a bunch of tools and pawn them. But you also do have the very organized groups, and sometimes you have those two groups and they'll combine. We had a case about a year ago where you had a property owner that had a bunch of rental properties. He was a businessman, and he actually engaged the services of a group of meth heads, drug addicts, to go steal all this property so that he could put it in his properties to save money, and then they could sell the rest and they could both make a profit.
Hopefully they both got snagged.
Yeah, they both actually they both went to prison. One of them was a repeat offender. They got significant prison time, and you know, they both got prison time. One was a first-time offender, the other was a repeat.
So what can contractors and property owners do? Is it putting up cameras? You know, you can secure it only so much, and if somebody really wants in, they're going to get in. But is enough being done to encourage them not to enter the properties?
Yeah, it's about education and teamwork. I mean, we have to use technology to our advantage, quite frankly. And so, you know, the funny thing is we've got a lot of contractors, we got a lot of construction company owners. They will put up security cameras, but if you don't know how to interpret the data, if you're not watching the data, if you're not recording, or let's say you've got suspects caught on camera, but you didn't get anything stolen, but your neighbor did a half mile down, what good is that data if you're not interpreting it correctly? And so there's a couple things we're trying to do. Number one, we're working really closely with MOBA, Metro Omaha Builders Association, and also with the Mechanical Contractors Association. Educate them about what's happening. Educate them about policies on the state level that they need to support to stop this, but also how they can help. And here's how they can help. Number one, if you have video footage or still shot footage of anyone acting suspiciously on your properties, you got to get it to my agency, because what you may think is inconsequential could break the case for us.
Is your agency also 911, or how do people get a hold of the sheriff's office?
Well, they can get a hold of us. You know, we're easy to find. You can call the front desk of the sheriff's office.
You can Google Douglas County Sheriff.
Douglas County Sheriff. Make sure you do Douglas County Sheriff Omaha, or you can go to omahasheriff.org. because there's a Douglas County in every state in the nation. But secondly, we really want to try to educate folks about this license plate reader technology. We're making headway, especially after the tornado. We had one developer that invested in license plate reader technology camera on the ingress and egress points into this tornado-impacted area, because we know there's going to be a lot of rebuilding, tear down, people being victimized. And there is no better way, once these theft sprees start, to stop it dead in its tracks than with license plate reader technology. And the best part is we handle all the data. If something happens, we can go back, check the data, who came in at 2 o'clock in the morning, who left at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's the smartest way to prevent and address this type of theft.
And you know that contractors and developers are up listening to the show, but the drug addicts and the thieves are still sleeping off last night. So they're not listening to this great advice. So let's get those cameras out there.
Trent, you're a car guy. You're a car guy. Several weeks ago at the Rover dealership,
Onyx.
Aaron
Hanson.
My jurisdiction, actually. It's
Well,
still unincorporated in Douglas County.
Did those guys get caught yet?
Well,
Not yet.
no. They came in. They test drove earlier in the day. There were 3 of them. They test drove. One of the cars that they took was a very expensive Rover. Well, they're all expensive, but this was very expensive, and it was like one of 300 that the company made for the world.
But it's just organized. It was organized.
Totally organized.
And those cars have got to be out of Omaha now.
It's an international group.
It's an international group. You're right. They're not worried about serial numbers. They disarmed the data so they couldn't track the car.
You're right.
And they were 5 or 6 minutes after the alarm went off, security, whatever
They knew
it was.
what they were doing.
They were gone. They were gone.
$500,000 worth of theft in within 20 minutes.
That's it.
Well, Aaron, hopefully you can stick around. This is a lively discussion. I have a lot to talk about. And we still have the lightning round coming up after the break, brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction. There's a lot of information we need to cover. I hope you guys stick around and join me for that. And you're listening to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics Omaha. Come on back in a couple minutes. And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. I am Trenton Magid. Jeff Beals has the weekend off. And it is time for the lightning round, brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction. Perkins Kreitzer Construction is a full-service Class A general contractor based in Omaha that serves Omaha, Lincoln, Council Bluffs, and surrounding areas. Please go to p-cconstruction.com and check out their several projects. They have experienced construction team of project managers, project administrators, superintendents, carpenters, and laborers, many with over 30 years of experience in the construction industry. They will do, they're very experienced in healthcare, retail, office, education, religious, industrial, financial institutions, and restaurants. So we were talking about it before the show, guys, that Rivera's, which was a really popular Mexican restaurant, Willie,
Yes.
at 120th and Blondo, and I think it went away because of a not so friendly divorce as opposed to a friendly divorce, and the husband, Santoro by J. Rivera's, after several pop-ups and a food truck, has leased 2,400 square feet in a space on the east end of 8601 Dodge Street building developed by NP Dodge Company. And it's in an old boiler room, and it's getting built out right now. It'll be owned and operated by Jesus Rivera, who ran the former Rivera's. And it's just exciting to see someone take a risk. And this will be open by the end of the year. Did you ever go to Rivera's?
I have.
It's tasty. He knows what he's
Been
doing.
around forever.
Another restaurant, which is interesting, is called Cattle Call. A new tapas and wine bar concept has officially opened at 1603 Farnham Street in the former Culprit Cafe space next to the Green Room. Soft opening was June 22nd. The downtown bar serves late-night food and has retail wine and spirit selection. Cattle Call is also the new home of the Kathmandu Momo Station, which was formerly in the Blackstone district. I have not been there, but it sounds interesting. The sign is up at Gambino's Pizza in a new strip mall east of Cobalt Credit Union and next to West Omaha Dermatology at 11717 Bryan Street, just off Highway 6 and Highway 31 in Gretna. The chain pizzeria has Nebraska locations in Fremont, Kearney, and North Bend. An opening has not yet been announced. This is interesting. Have you heard of a concept called Big Chicken?
Yeah.
So
I've been called one.
Yeah. It's a fast casual restaurant franchise owned by the legendary basketball player Shaquille O'Neal. Like, he needs another business to oversee. Plans to expand in Omaha, according to KETV News. Local entrepreneurs, father and son duo Tom and Zach Davis, will be bringing the Big Chicken locations to Omaha. Opening dates have not been announced. Founded in 2018, Big Chicken has 32 locations in 18 states. The closest existing one is in Kansas City. Well, there's a couple of things. And that is your lightning round, brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction. Aaron, during the break, Aaron Hanson, Sheriff of Douglas County, wanted to remind business owners and anybody to use, why don't you talk about it, Aaron?
Yeah, so, Willy brought up the case of the stolen luxury vehicles here recently that my agency investigated and talked about how the thieves deactivated the GPSs. It is so important. If you have a valuable piece of equipment, if you've got a trailer, if you've got an earth mover, you've got to put your own GPSs on it. You cannot rely on the factory GPSs. These thieves know how to disable them. Sheriff's Office just created a bumper sticker you can put on your pieces of equipment that says this piece of equipment is being GPS tracked, Douglas County Sheriff's Office. That'll have guys walk right by them. But even if in the Apple AirTag, if they see they're being tracked on their iPhone, they'll dump it off on the side of the road. Mission accomplished. At least They're not stealing your stuff.
Well, the music is playing, and I wanted to get that in there. And you guys have been great. Willy Thiesen, John Benton of Ruhlman Steakhouse, coming to Ashland, Nebraska. Sheriff of Douglas County, Aaron Hanson. Appreciate all of you coming on the show. And ladies and gentlemen, join us next week on 1110 KFAB.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.